This is Forge Daily with Mackenzie Barwell on the Forge Audio Network.
Forge fans, welcome back. Another episode of Forge Daily for you today. It is May 26th, 2023. I'm your host, Mackenzie Barwell, here to give you all things Forge. Today's Friday. We are heading into the weekend and yet another game day. Tough for Forge FC having all of these games back to back, but I gotta say, it's nice for us having so much to talk about, so I'm definitely not complaining. In today's episode, we will hear some words from defender/midfielder Alex Ashanyoti-Janssen and center back Garvin Metusala, who are currently traveling with the rest of the team to Ottawa. For the second time, Forge and Atletico will meet this year, but their first regular season matchup in the 2023 CPL campaign. So, before we get into our predictions on what we might expect in tomorrow's match, let's have a look at what we've seen in the past overall. Atletico Ottawa and Forge FC's records show that of the 12 meetings they've had, Ottawa has won once, Forge 8 times, and another 3 have ended in a draw. And when you look at this season, their only other matchup was at Tim Hortons Field on May 9th for that quarterfinal of the Canadian Championship. Both teams forced into that penalty shootout where Ottawa would ultimately concede after a hard-fought battle, and then Forge securing their first win off penalty kicks. Atletico definitely not pleased with the start they've had this year, especially after claiming that regular season title in 2022. They currently sit 7th in the standings, just one above the Halifax Wanderers. They've played a total of 6 games now with only 1 win, the rest being 2 draws and 3 losses. Going into tomorrow, they are coming off a 2-0 loss against Cavalry. But if you're Ottawa, you may still feel a sense of confidence after defeating Vancouver FC 5-0 because Forge did have to settle for a draw with them last week. And as usual, Forge should keep an eye out for Ollie Bissett, who still leads the league in scoring with a total of 3 goals. He was also the player who buried a penalty kick in the 87th minute to force a shootout in the quarterfinals. He's currently at 100% accuracy for PKs this season, so probably best to avoid fouling Ollie Bissett in the box tomorrow. We can also expect to see goalkeeper Sean Melvin in net, as Ottawa starter Nathan Ingham is still suffering from a hand injury, currently in the process of rehab and recovery. Melvin, though, not one to be underestimated, okay? At 6'4", he definitely adds some experience and versatility to Ottawa's squad. He actually started his professional career in 2018 with the Vancouver Whitecaps in the MLS. Something else worth mentioning, Forge FC have yet to lose to Atletico Ottawa at their home field, so they've got an opportunity to continue their momentum at TD Place. Tomorrow's match will also round up just about every regular season matchup with teams in the CPL. I was able to reach Alex Ashanyoti-Janssen and Garvin Metusala to ask how Forge will adjust their game based on their previous matchup against Ottawa earlier this month. Here was their response and take on tomorrow's match.
I think it's the same thing as we usually. We got to put our brand of football that we play, and we know we've played them a lot of times, and we know what they're going to bring to the table, and they're structurally a good team, but they haven't gotten the start they wanted to this season, so we just got to be sharp in what we're doing. I think we take it game at a time. I don't like looking at history can be deceiving, because you're never as good as your last you're only as good as your last game, right? So we might have a good track record against them, but tomorrow's a new game, a new day, so we just got to do the work. I think with the culture we have, we're obviously, I don't think any team's happy losing, but we want revenge right away, and it's good that we get this quick turnaround, because that gives us the ability to forget the loss and move on.
Even if it was a cup game, I think it's going to be the same thing tomorrow. It's a league game. They have a rough start. We've had a good start, but of course they want to take that revenge from last year as well. So it's probably going to be an intense game. I expect the same thing as the Canadian Championship game. Of course, we want to keep winning there. It's always good to win away, but we shouldn't go into that game with that mindset. We should go in the mindset that we've never won there, and just to try to get a first win again there. So we just got to keep working, take this game as serious as possible, even if they have had a rough start, and just keep pushing to stay in that first spot.
In other news, Forge FC announced their high-performance training camp on social media today, so if you are or know somebody that has what it takes on the pitch between the ages of 13 and 17, you could be a part of this 10-week session that includes coaching from Forge players and coaches who are, as you know, some of the best in Canadian professional soccer. Did I almost sign up for this myself and then realize there was an age cap? Yes, so don't make that mistake. It is between the ages of 13 to 17. If that interests you, head to forgefootball.club/higher performance. There are limited spots available, so I would advise doing that as soon as possible. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening, and be sure to stream tomorrow's match on One Soccer at 2 p.m. It is an early one, so be careful, don't miss it. I'll be back with another episode of Forge Daily on Monday. We have a couple interviews next week with some great CPL personalities, so I am very excited, and you should be too. Thanks again for listening, and I will talk to you then.
This has been Forge Daily with Mackenzie Barwell. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share.